I've been getting a lot of calls from a lot of people about the nuisance properties in town. And the fact that we did rewrite our nuisance ordinance so that we could enforce that ordinance and do something with these properties. We started with 3. They need to be moved into the second phase of enforcement because all the progress that had been made has stopped and is backsliding a little bit. So Thursday night we need to ask Jared to move into the second phase of enforcement with them. But I also talked to Jared, and you know, the reason we held off and we only did 3 at a time is because part of our agreement with Jared is we have to pay him for each one of these properties that he takes on. And it's $500 per property. But now that covers everything. That covers from him starting to write the letters, and if it winds up 6, 8, 10 months down the road in court, that covers him going to court, everything he has to do to enforce the ordinance and place the liens and collect the money and the fines. So we didn't really, couldn't see our way clear to give him 12 properties and drop $6,000 at one time to cover nuisance properties. So what he has agreed to do, give them all to him that we've identified Thursday night. He will start the process on all of these properties so we can no longer be accused of singling people out, playing favorites, picking anybody out. And what I worked out with him, if council will go along with this, is we'll pay him for 2 of these properties a month until he's paid up for them. He's advancing his services for future payment from us. Does that make, do you understand what I'm saying? So if council is agreeable to do that, and it's something that you think we should do, Jared is willing to work with us on that. And right now there's 11 additional properties that I know of that we have identified as on the list. And there's probably a few others that we need to take a hard look at, to put on that list to get something done. But at least if we just start the process and get the ball rolling, then you're not projecting the image that you're picking and choosing who you're enforcing and who you're not. Because we've said along the whole line of this conversation that you have to be fair and equal, and what you do for or to one, you have to do to everybody. So I think the fact that Jared is willing to work with us on the payment is a good thing. Our money is doing pretty good right now. We're not having a lot of issues with finances right now. That's all subject to change depending on the next big water leak or major malfunction we have with the trash truck or what have you. But right now we're doing pretty good, and we can comfortably do this. What we probably should have done when we did our budget for this year, we probably should have allocated funds for this. So what we're winding up doing is using our legal fees that we allocated for this year to pay for these nuisance properties. It's still legal fees, but I think for a cleaner accounting track next year, when we look at the budget, then we need to allocate money in for ordinance enforcement. And any questions about that, or anybody's comments about that and turning these properties over to Jared for enforcement? Joey?
No, I mean, is it the same people calling you over and over?
Usually, there was a couple different ones this time.
Okay.
But they're all incorporated in all of the complaints they were dealing with right now. Do you understand what I'm, and the next one I'm gonna talk about in just a minute.